2000 Act 228 made medical cannabis legal in Hawaii. Today, medical cannabis patients and their caregivers are still prosecuted by the state of Hawaii.
The chemists press the pills while the hippies in the hills plant the next generation, grow the next strain.
We are the hiccup in the system. We're not going to stand silent. We're going to fix this, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make these guys stop picking on medical cannabis users.
We've got those hippies in the hills and them doctor scripting pills down in the valley below. Grab your horse and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go.
The undercover gave the doctor a fake ID and got a letter of recommendation. When he called me, he said he had a medical cannabis card and had back pain, so I gave him directions. He also said that when he came the first time, he met my daughter called Jenny, which we never call her, it's either Jen or Jennifer, and she testified that she never met him. He also says I let him come in and showed him the collector. In reality, the first time he came, I did not let Officer Fontenunu out of the car because he didn't have a doctor's recommendation. And it appears conveniently that they cannot produce the recording of this first visit, even though Officer Bartz testified he gave undercover Fontenunu a recording. I asked the undercover if he had a card. He said I didn't ask him. The second time he came back with a doctor's recommendation, we were closed that day, and even though we were closed, I felt bad for him because I thought he'd been suffering for over a month. So I opened up for him. I told Officer Fontenunu 4 times that what he had transferred to him was good enough and would last him weeks. I was being responsible and encouraging him not to get too much, demonstrating I was not in it for the money. I did nothing different than your average lawn employee, pointing out different kinds of medicine and which ones might be best for back pain. It was medicine and we were trying to help the patient. I was being transparent and I wasn't trying to hide anything. This is evidenced by the YouTube video and radio ads. The prosecutor is going to assert that all my witnesses had cards when they had medicine transferred to them. That's not true. Some members started with letters of recommendation. When Fontenunu came up the second time, even though he didn't have a card, he met the conditions of use and produced evidence that he was a qualifying patient from a physician I knew and recognized. I believe you deserve to know the truth. HRS 329-121, medical use of cannabis, clearly says you do not need a card. It says all you need is a physician's signature. It reads, quote, "The qualifying patient has been diagnosed by a physician or advanced practice registered nurse as having a debilitating medical condition. 2, the qualifying patient's physician or advanced practice registered nurse has, in their professional opinion, the potential benefits of medical use of cannabis would likely outweigh the health risks of a particular qualifying patient. And 3, the amount of cannabis possessed by the qualifying patient does not exceed adequate supply." That's all it says. It doesn't say the conditions of using marijuana is having a medical cannabis card. This means that undercover Fontenunu, to have met the conditions of using medical cannabis, he had to 1, have a diagnosis from a physician, which he had. Dr. Bird is a physician, and he diagnosed him. 2, the patient's physician certified in writing that the benefits of medical use outweigh the health risks. Officer Fontenunu had a letter from Dr. Bird stating exactly this, and it's in evidence. Finally, it says the amount of cannabis possessed by the qualifying patient does not exceed adequate supply. And in 2015, adequate supply was 4 ounces in any form. 1.5 ounces was under 4 ounces. Officer Fontenunu met the conditions of use. It's the crux of the case. He's saying I violated the statute by transferring medical cannabis. to Officer Fonunu because he didn't yet have a card. However, the state law says a doctor's recommendation meets the conditions of use.
Well, I might admit, I vaporize a bit of cannabis. I'm gonna go to Alaska, Maine, Massachusetts, Colorado. We've got those hippies in the hills and them doctor scripting pills down in the valley below. Grab your horse and your hat, come on buddy, let's go.